Salute and thank you, NERDSoul. Yeah, that's right. Lay Ill Kid at OneYoungsta holding it down, bringing that StreetGeek and NERDSoul. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. Let's go, because it's NERDSoul Gaming, y'all. That's right. We talk about them games. We're going to have a good old time. Tonight, we talk about beat 'em ups. I am not by myself. I'm your host, Kenny the Jet Smith. No. Oh, man. But
now, do you run better than Kenny the Jet Smith right now?
Oh, man. Oh, but I got a awesome co-host with me. This man is the best thing since sliced bread for comic book distribution in the Gulf Coast. I give to you, that's right, Coop of Blurtish. What's up?
What's up, y'all? Tonight we're gonna kind of update. I ain't gonna say the state of beat 'em ups. Go listen to that video we did probably about 2-3 years ago. But we're just gonna kind of talk about stuff that we're looking forward to, and you know what we're doing with beat 'em ups and all that.
Yeah, so I guess I'll let you go first. What you got? What have you got on your mind as far as beat 'em ups are concerned? With I guess new upcoming or releases or whatever.
Well, I want to set the stage with this. Like I said, mentioned in the video, I want to set the stage with now. I'm a person of when people show you what's going on, we can always hope for better, but we can gotta analyze what's going on. So I remember at the end of our last video last year, one of the big things that we wanted was cross play, online play, whatever.
Yeah,
I am here to report to you that is not going to happen. That's so, because most beat 'em ups is what you would call, I don't know, AA or below, or single A, or really everything now, unless it's kind of like Nintendo first party or Sony first party or a bought company, is kind of independent that gets contract. I know that sounds crazy, but this is the space we are with gaming. Just like the gig economy, you know, your driver who is paid by Dash, kind of, sort of, technically we're paying them, and then, you know, it's kind of a pass through the company. So it's kind of like that, but a little bit better. So basically all beat 'em ups at this point are about somewhere between 30 to 70% independent. Like, far as the production of the game itself, even if Sega or somebody like that put their name,
Sega might put their name on it, but
like
they ain't really doing all the work.
So basically, even Streets of Rage 4, one of the greatest things that came out in the genre, is technically an independent. It's published by Sega, wasn't developed by Sega. Two different things. So I just wanted to set that now that we have some real expectations, I'm not going to say be so harsh on people. It's kind of like Lanyap, as we say down here. If you get those features that you got in Streets of Rage and Turtles, cool, don't expect it. if you get it, you'll be lucky. But they got to keep these, but they not going to overblow the budget for those things. I know, shout out to Open Mind. He might beat me up verbally for that, but at the same time, we gotta say it is what it is. They're not going to do it because, I don't know, money wise, it is what it is. But now we can go on to what's going on. I'm gonna get to the granddaddy, the big thing that what we're looking to. So I have a category that I made, going to buy that's new, kind of from, let's say, 2024 and 2025. So we're going to start off strong. Power Rangers got released. The date got released December 10th. I've been waiting for it ever since it got announced, maybe a year ago, or maybe it was either a year ago or no, it was a year ago. It was a year ago.
Yeah, it was announced, I think, a year ago
at the Game Awards, which is coming up soon. You know,
so people can get mad again.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen, and this is why I know this is why it's going to happen. Because for one, they already. Oh, you talking about mad at the Game Awards? Probably.
Yeah.
It just, well, you know, you open up a door, there's two people yelling at you. But basically, It took a more year of development. The guy, it was at PAX. Like y'all know, I share PAX videos. I shared it to Mike. I shared it to other people. The dude for Digital Clips has a great reputation. Like they take this serious. You know, they're not into AAA gaming or big stuff, but they like this is kind of their niche. Them and Way Forward kind of fall in this lane, and the people who are working on it love Power Rangers. So that's a good sign. You know, unlike say when people get a Marvel movie, they be like, "I hate superheroes." No, this is the opposite. They actually love what they're doing, and say their goal was we wanted to create the beat 'em up that never came in the arcade for Power Rangers. Yes, they had a Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo beat 'em up, but they never had a arcade game like say Turtles that was then ported to home systems. So that is a difference at that time. Now that doesn't happen anymore because arcades are via arcades that release say beat 'em ups, adventure games, simulations no longer exist because the home ports, consoles, and computers can do whatever arcade can do. Like there's no real difference. So, but it was a big deal back then because like you had to port, you had to port the system, port the game to make it look as good to fit the hardware of a smaller, less powerful thing. Because there was nothing like the arcades that was powerful unless you had some guap or money. And even home computers could not do what the arcade computer could do, board could do.
Yeah, not at that time. It took a while to maybe mid to late 90s.
So this is their passion project. I mean, this is their project for their company. But the dude was like, I can't give a date. But then he did say, I guarantee you it's coming fall 2024. I said, I can't give you a date yet till we finish some final polishing and stuff. He said, and like you can find this interview with the PAX interviews and stuff. And this dude was he was passionate. And then you had people who got their hands on it. So they were starting to do hands-on video, and the people who are important who do these reviews got their hands on it, or people who just got bigger followings, or they in the industry per se. So it so far has been good. I mean, and then if you could just see with your eyes and see how it moves, their level design is going to be, they're going to have variety of level designs with the super scaler, and I'm gonna put that in quotations because that kind of comes from Sega made that mode famous. Super Scaler, where you kind of had it in the original Jurassic Park, the G.I. Joe game, but Sega is always known for that. But there's a thing that they're doing with the shooting stages or the running stages, kind of like those old games, to mix in with the beat 'em up part.
Yeah.
So
I think this is going to be awesome, man. Like I can't wait to play it with the little guy.
Yeah, it's
like we watched the trailer about 2 or 3 times, and I'm like, this is gonna be sweet.
Like, I am very lenient because I love beat 'em ups, but I try to be lenient to indies. But man, when you get a company with a reputation that takes its work very, very seriously, you gotta support it. And it's just like if you like a part of beat 'em ups and you like this licensed IP, Hasbro, they just like money. So the fact that they actually, got one of their properties to somebody good, because we're going to talk about, I'm going to give a raspberry to another one of their properties that went to another place that we'll talk about later.
Oh boy.
But yeah, Power Rangers is something I'm definitely going to buy. I want to buy. I can't wait. Too. I hope it's crossplay. I don't think it's going to be because I'm not a computer savvy person, but I think it just takes a little bit of extra manpower that most people ain't got these days, or budgeting.
They're like, we don't care about no beat 'em ups.
They're like, we ain't gonna don't worry about it. You maybe we'll get you online, but don't try to worry about no crossplay. like look, you ain't Way Forward and you ain't whatever the companies they had. Like they're probably the tops of this indie beat 'em up development game. But Digital Clips is probably second or third in that line of like, hey, if you need somebody to do something retro and bring it back to life and start from the ground up with pixel work and can get the artists to do it, y'all, this pixel work ain't easy. You
Nah.
know, it's not
Well, see,
hard.
is this straight pixel work or is this like computer made to look like pixels?
I mean,
Because
either
one
way,
is slightly easier than the other.
one is probably. I mean, I don't know exactly right now. It probably ain't like the old drawing by dot matrix, like the easiest. But you
Yeah,
probably only have so many people that Digital Eclipse can put on this project. And
true.
even though this might be the bulk of their project, they still like do a lot of other stuff like digital libraries, other stuff like that he was talking about. So it's like, okay, they're a little bit different, somewhat like they're into game preservation. I think it's kind of like their hot, like their crux of them, and then they do game development as well. So, but they don't have unlimited funds and time because you got to pay bills. You go, when you're doing project work, you got like just like when you're building a house. All right, this is probably your pay. You done did 75% of the house. You get this much. You get this. Blah blah blah. Maybe if you beat the deadline, you get a bonus. I'm pretty sure that's how it
Hmm.
probably generally works. So people want to get paid and not work for free. So you cannot do this forever.
And then hopefully we can get a lot of support for this, so we'll get a whole bunch of DLC and good stuff and all that.
I mean,
Hopefully.
I think now that they got the official thing, I think we're gonna get, or of course, Tommy as DLC, the first DLC, because this is gonna follow the story of like season 1 or 2 of the Power Rangers, where they got beat up by Tommy. Then he became
So
a good
yeah,
guy.
Tommy came in like season 1 episode. I think it was like around episode 15 or so.
Something like that, or how many weeks they had, but because I don't know how many they shot, but yeah, it was something like that. So that's where they telling you like, hey, cool. We know they got like 25 other type of Ranger teams or something. Don't be expecting all that right now. You're gonna get the ones that from this.
You're gonna get Mighty Morphin. That's what you're gonna get.
Yeah, you're gonna get
You
Mighty
ain't-
Morphin.
So don't be expecting, you know, I don't know, like Ninja Storm and all them. Like, what I'm saying?
And for the love of God, don't be expecting to be that dude to be like, yes, Super Sentai is slightly different. I watched the video on it. I get it. We know what Super Sentai is. That's probably like season 4 or 5. If this thing makes enough money, maybe you'll get something wacky like that. But you probably ain't gonna get only the American things. Hopefully, you get to something like Ninja Storm or Turbo.
Yeah, because like because I know people gonna be wanting like Turbo and be like, look, you ain't getting be happy with what you got. You got Mighty Morphin. Maybe I'm assuming if it gets real popular, I assume maybe like Ninja Storm, Dino Force, maybe. But I mean,
I would like to see TJ. I'm not even a big Power Rangers guy. Shout out to Giff. He would love this if he listening. Shout out to you because I know he don't have time to game, but he might become a gamer for that because he loves Power Rangers. I would love to see.
Speaking of Power Rangers, I love Battle for the Grid. It's just that their game got infinites and they won't take them out. They actually put them in at the behest of pro gamers, and it's just like, pro players, and it's just like, bruh, like I don't want to play a game with infinites. I don't want to play a game. I don't even want to watch. I don't want to watch tournaments with infinites because it's boring. Like, it's like, all right, cool, touch of death. All right, well, I guess everybody can go, make a sandwich and everything now because he'll be doing this combo for the next 5 minutes.
Gonna have you twerking in the handstand and going in the circle until you die. So that is the big one that's coming this year. Of course, we got some other ones. Did you want to go, or did you want me to just keep going down the list?
Well, what I'll do is I'll go in and give a big shout out to one property that is trying to own the beat 'em up, or at least beat 'em up ish type of atmosphere, which is just Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles has like either 3 or like 4 games either releasing or in dev or something. Like, if you a Turtles fan, I don't want to hear no complaints. All right, because y'all got comics, y'all just had an animated series that just finished like a couple months ago. Y'all got another animated film on the way. You got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like Shredder's Revenge is still getting
yes,
it's still getting DLC. You got Mutants Unleashed, either on the way or out. Then you have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Arcade, Wrath of the Mutants. Then you have Splintered Fate. So you got like, bruh, on top of I believe the comics are still running somewhere. So, bruh, like, Turtles fans, y'all eating right now.
I just want to, I guess, throw my thoughts on this. I think we got too many Turtles beat 'em ups, but I know how this works with Turtles. I know that they're different teams. Like they got I'm kind of happy to see that what's the last movie that came out with the new Turtles that
they you're talking about Mutant Mayhem.
Mutant Mayhem. So they now have a game. So
yeah, Mutants Unleashed is their game.
It has like mid to okay reviews. Some people are saying needs some patches.
Oh, so it's already out. Oh, I didn't know it was already out.
Yeah, it's out. But it does have all the voice actors came back for it. Of course, now Jackie Chan ain't gonna be in it like this, budget. But but far as the Turtles,
come on, Jackie, you don't even need the money, man. Jackie, what you sitting on a bill right now? Come on, Jackie.
And Jackie said, "Who don't need the money? Don't get tossed through a window."
He's like, my kids got to eat.
Look, I don't know if he have kids. I don't know, but I'm sure he got somebody in the Jackie Chan estate. But yeah, it's a good look, I think, for the young actors, because they say it's kind of like a 2.5, if you will, slight sequel, but kind of goofy. I think it has some different things to it, which of course most beat 'em ups, if it's made to be more than just a side scroller, it's going to have a lot of different elements into it, which one I'm going to get into later. But that the one that's kind of for more seasoned gamers or people who want maybe even a harder challenge is that Splinter Fate. That's the roguelite one. If it wasn't roguelike, I probably would have snatched it up, because I kind of like the isometric Diablo look to it. But roguelite, I'm kind of iffy on roguelike because it's so hard. But I think that's the one that if you don't, like, say if you needed something different from Shredder's Revenge, that was the next one.
Because this is Splinter Fate is the one that's more of a top-down sort of like I can't remember the subgenre, but I mean it's basically a beat 'em up, but it's more like
it's an isometric beat 'em up. I mean,
yeah,
it's a roguelike isometric beat 'em up. So it's gonna be everything. It's gonna be on a slant. You are fighting different things, but that's what it is. So it has that look to it. If you know what Diablos or your things like that, it's gonna be in that vein. The one that I think that is absolutely a cash grab, because just to remember, folks, Turtles is a licensed IP, so different developers get it. The one by
they kind of do whatever they want.
The arcade one that was based on, I think, 2012 Turtles. I think it's it looks like an absolute sham. I never really
you're talking about Wrath of the Mutants. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Arcade, Wrath of the Mutants.
I would say first of all, they try to overcharge for that one. Look, I'll pay $30 for beat 'em up if it's good, or even $40 if you do.
They charging $30 for this?
Yeah.
So but it's not even the current Turtles. Man.
They trying to get their paper, and the people who do it, who developed it or ported it over, don't have the best reputation. That game is probably get it on sale. If you just have to be like, I get it, Turtles fans, y'all like to collect, but
because see, I was thinking that it looked pretty cool, but I was like, but $30 though.
Man, just go read the reviews. That's why I do reviews. Shout out to the Flying Kick, because I got to give him some love on something else that I'm gonna probably bash a little bit later. But the Flying Kick with Savino, first of all, that brother answer your questions. Some cat in Brazil. I don't know if he a brother, but he good at what he do. He will like if you follow the Flying Kick, he will answer your question like that day. If you comment on his videos, like Flying Kick do not play, and I thank him. I give him all the grace and just say thank you for answering the question. So yeah, that's a cat I as a beat 'em up fan, he's a beat 'em up. He helped fund some things and whatnot. Yeah, he's the guy in beat 'em ups that I thoroughly follow. So But but again, you got what, 4 or 5 turtles? I got the
Yeah,
DLC.
you
I
got
haven't played it yet.
four. You got 4 games. I haven't picked up the DLC. I got to pick because now that the DLCs out, I got to pick up the DLC. I got to beat the game with them. Matter of fact, I can't remember if I beat the game with Casey or not. I might have to do that.
I absolutely
My
Casey
son, my son and
easy
I
to
have
beat the
been
game.
playing with it, so it's been taking a little bit longer. But you know what I'm saying? Don't.
I got the Usagi Yojimbo and the Infinite. I love Usagi Yojimbo. I got the Mondo Gecko, the Radical Reptiles one. I bought. I
Yeah, I
got to
don't
boot
have
it up.
Radical Reptiles. I don't have that one.
So then they're gonna have they added the 8-bit music to it. Like they doing the thing that like them and Streets of Rage 4 kept giving, and these like, hey, we're gonna give some more, and they keep getting some money for it. I know what the game is. You can't get everything for free, unfortunately, for games, because they got to add more stuff to it, and these things on servers, so there's no more of a true cartridge feeling. But if you're going to keep doing that for something like Turtles, and you know that you're like the honorary or what's the word, ancestral sequel to the arcade series, then you show that you care about it. You show that you love it. So that's one way that you will keep taking care of a good property and loving it and making money.
And I'm just glad, look, because I ain't gonna front. I'm still playing Streets of Rage 4. I'm like, look, going to give me that DLC. I'll play it, even though I don't really like Mondo Gecko or I can't remember the other young lady's name right now, or the young reptile lady name or whatever. But I don't really like either of them. But I'm gonna still cop it because I'm like, all right, let me see how they play. I might end up liking them. I might end up liking how they play.
I mean, Mondo is the Poochie of it all, y'all. If y'all know that reference. And then Mona Lisa, she only popped up in one episode in the series, in the 80-something Turtles, but she was the girlfriend of Raphael or love interest. People loved her, and it just remained, and people really wanted them, and here they are. So maybe they had it in plans all along, and we just don't know, or they just listen like, all right, let's build them into the game. Either way, that's listening, planning ahead, and taking care of a game that they probably, unfortunately, will not be a sequel to no time soon. Like,
this is probably going to be it. That's why.
That's why they taking care of it. But that's because for one, Nickelodeon, Paramount, and now Skydance, who owns it, they could just give whoever pays for that license, and then that could just be, that's Turtles game. So
But the good thing is, you know what I'm saying, even though we might say if this is the last DLC that we get, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, the game is still like infinitely playable. Like the music is fun to listen to, the characters, Absolutely. You know what I'm saying, are fun. Like I still come back to and play it. Now, of course, I come back to Streets of Rage more often because I like the timing of the attacks better. Especially when it comes to the responsiveness of the buttons. I don't know why it seems like there's a slight delay on mine. Now, I mean, it might just be maybe my controller or maybe the Bluetooth connection or whatever, but it does seem like there's a slight, especially when you're trying to go into supers and stuff. It seems like there's a slight delay as opposed to when I play Streets of Rage. Streets of Rage 4, that is.
And that's kind of done by design. They say Streets of Rage 4 is like the Cadillac or whatever, the Humvee or something of giving you control over your character. Turtles is what they call chaos control, or clearing a room is supposed to be frantic, and it's not going to give you the level of the finite detail that Streets of Rage 4, and that's what I heard, that it's done by design.
Okay.
It's basically
there's many times when I play this game when I'm like, all right, now I know I pressed the jump button right before this happened, and somehow I still got hit by this. This would never happen in Streets of Rage, and then I go back to Streets of Rage.
I forgot what they called it, but basically, it's basically control. I forgot the word, but it's basically clear a room as frantically as you can, and then get out the way, get out of danger. Whereas Streets of Rage, you can kind of do that. Crowd control. Yeah, that's the word. Turtles is all about crowd control. Then it pairs down into like if you get in a one-on-one, you can, mop a dude up, but they never give you a chance to kind of breathe that way. So it's designed that way. Whereas Streets of Rage is everything. You got crowd control characters, you got people who you can tech, you can get to the nitty gritty with it. And then if you once you got your style down with your character, you can do all of the above how you need to do it. So not saying one is better than the other per se, but it's
Nah,
just Turtles.
because I still love Turtles. Don't get me wrong.
It's built to be more frantic.
It's just that
done.
From a play standpoint, when I'm playing it, I'm like, man, all right, this is getting on my nerves because it's hitting me. I'm getting hit more than I know I should be getting hit, but I know it's like due to the way the game is, and it's just like frustrating sometimes. But I still love like Shredder's Revenge. I've put in some hours on that game. Matter of fact, let me open up Steam like real quick and see how many hours I've actually put in on this game. Like, because I've beat it with pretty much everyone outside of the new update. But I've put in some real time on that good old TMNT. 34 hours. So that's a good amount of time.
To kind of switch gears a little bit. Speaking of DLC, and yes, folks, I'm counting DLC.
Sorry, excuse me. I apologize. I was looking at the wrong game. Turtles. Okay, so this is a good example. Turtles. I've put in 14 hours on Ninja Turtles. All right, 14 hours, which seems like a lot, right? Streets of Rage 4. I've put in 83.5 hours.
Oh wow,
it's a big difference, and not because it's not that they're two different games. I don't think Streets of Rage is essentially better than the other game. It's just that when I play it, the way it feels to the response to the controls, it's just different. It makes me want to play that game more. But go ahead.
But speaking of DLC, one that I don't know if it's gonna come this year, but one of my favorites, and I promise y'all I'm gonna mention some new games, but River City Girls, they have an upcoming DLCs. Again, legendary games that's top of their genre, they keep doing this. They know that like the way that their universe is, I could play that universe, that version of Kunio-Kun verse forever. Even though it's River City Girls, it's still the Kunio-Kun verse. They're bringing the Double Dragon. The Double Dragons are there as support characters. You go into their store to buy stuff. The next DLC, you will be able to play as them. And they're going to be fully voice acted. I think the Game Grumps are voice acting them.
Wow.
So it's, again, taking a game that's been out for 2 years and adding a fresh coat of paint to it. And they know that if they take care of it, people will buy it. And for one, Game Grumps are well known in the gaming industry, whatever. So more than likely, if they fans are like it, they're going to get sales immediately that day. And then you're going to get people who are into retro gaming and who, like me, like Double Dragon, and they actually have, I say, the look of the Double Dragons that I like, even though it's a little more tongue-in-cheek type of game, but still, I'm going to buy it. That's my childhood. That's the first beat 'em up other than Renegade, which is aka Kunio-Kun, that I know of from the Technos verse, if you will. So we done went all through about that check our last podcast about beat 'em ups. I'm sure Mike will have a link, or you can find it, look on his page, and I would have it on my website, but it no longer exists. I think I have it on my Spotify, but you can find it through Mike's page. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that DLC. And one that's supposed to be coming up, I don't think it's gonna happen this year. Toxic Crusaders, I'm going to buy it, but I don't know when it's coming out. And it's like we saw this a legit 2 years ago, and I don't know what's going on. People keep talking about it. I like the look of it. I like the voice acting. I don't like some of the little goofy slapstick sounds that I've seen in the previews, but I can get over it. But it also has, like, it's just gonna, like, they're gonna be silly willy-nilly, but it look like it's going to play and move smooth. But I don't know.
The game looks like it's running smooth. It's just, I'm sorry. One thing about Toxic, or one thing about beat 'em ups, the music got to be right for me, and that music it just won't hit for me.
I mean,
Like it
it's
just
toxic. You see the cartoon from the early '90s, mid '90s.
yeah,
It's gonna be
that cartoon was rough back in the day. Like we all watched it, but it was rough.
it was one of them cartoon. I think I watched it on Cartoon Express. I think that's what used to come on purpose. But yeah, I just
Because you had like that Attack of the Killer Tomatoes and stuff like that. So I mean, the game looks awesome, but the music just ain't. The music just ain't. It ain't hit me right. Like that
nah.
Turtles, that music hit me just right. Like I bought the soundtrack, and I'm gonna buy the Radical Reptile soundtrack too. Like I got all the soundtracks, or well the two, and I'm gonna get the third one. But this music it won't hitting, bro. It won't hitting for me. I
I
was like,
mean,
nah.
this is purely for the gameplay. That is for sure. And
Yeah,
if you're like, this is nothing cool about this. This ain't the cool factor. This is purely a gaming thing. Just a shout out to if you like that character, which is cool that he's still running, even though he's supposed to be coming back in his R-rated format. I don't know when that's getting released or whatever. With Peter Dinklage, I don't mind it, but uh, I look more forward to the game than the movie. So
yeah.
that's what my thoughts are at.
Well,
I
I
think
got one that I'll add in since you brought up Toxic Crusader. I'll put this along with the since I don't know what the music will be like yet because I think whatever I watched, it said like not the final build or not final music or whatever. But this was something that was also announced a while ago, which is Jay and Silent Bob. They have a beat 'em up game coming, or maybe not. But Jay and Silent Bob is like hold on, let me
believe
get
it or not, they
a
actually have one already, but this is the one that's the more hand drawn style.
oh yeah. Okay, I didn't know they already had one, so my bad. But this is the it's called Jay and Silent Bob Chronic Blunt Punch. But
Yes.
they said that the stuff in there was that they were showing wasn't final, so I don't know if the music, the look is awesome. But y'all gotta bring me home with the music, man. Y'all gotta bring
I
me
mean,
y'all gotta get my pulse pounding, man. You gotta make me want to fight and clean these streets.
I'm gonna
So
be honest. You need to. I'm gonna just tell you to pump your brakes, Mike. You know who you're dealing with, Kevin Smith and them. It's gonna be silly slap time, silly slapstick time. Hockey. It's gonna be if you're wearing hockey jerseys somewhere in New Jersey and foolishness like that. In fact, it's the same place where Toxic Avenger was based out of. So go figure. I don't know, man. If it's just silly time out in New Jersey or something. But I wouldn't expect you to have the dopest of music.
all right,
For
well, I wanna because I know you love Double Dragon.
actually, before we get to that, I kind of want to put that in a certain category.
Oh, okay.
So in fact,
You making subcategories up in here. All right.
not subcategories. Because in fact, I want to do a category for you first, especially since you're a PC player. But I'm gonna do the interesting category. Excuse me, I've got Halloween candy. One that I think a lot of people will like. It ain't gonna be big and popular at all. It's by Digital Devolver, called Tenjutsu. It is a roguelike, Yakuza revenge story. It is going to be violent, but you talk about pixel, it's gonna be pixel. It's gonna be tiny, but that the girl in the thing who's like an ex Yakuza, she be moving. You gotta go and clear out a room, build your character up, and you going on runs.
Oh yeah.
So even though I don't want to necessarily get another roguelike, I like what I see. Like if you just like something you just want to really pick up and play that is kind of violent, but it's not like extra gory, but it is Digital Devolver. If you're familiar with them, they make some, they don't necessarily make no kiddie games. You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
So it's kind of like, I ain't gonna say Hotline Miami, but it's not far off. And it's kind of like that. And it's really about that hand-to-hand combat. And they really like saying like the combos you can do is gonna be really, really flowing to that. So that's just one that I think that's gonna be interesting. Mike is probably gonna have video of it. But check that out. If you like roguelikes and you like beat 'em ups and you like Yakuza flavoring, this might be for you.
Man,
And
I'm gonna just keep it real. I saw it. I actually like the animated stuff better than I like the game. It's something about top down that I don't dig. I don't know. I've never dug the top down kind of vibe. I know people love it. It's just not for me. So
I guess it's kind of top down. Or it's kind of like top down and side view.
yeah, it's like top down oblique or whatever, but I've never dug that kind of gameplay.
Like
I
if
don't
they
know.
get the price right for me, I might consider it. Like, I'll get it on sale. So I put it in the interesting and then maybe sale. Another one that's coming out, Slave Zero X. Probably gonna be, even though I put it interesting, probably gonna be a sale because it's gonna be hard. Not gonna lie, it is super cyborgs, cyberpunk, ninja samurai, and it's very like precision beat 'em up. So kind of like, I ain't gonna say like a Souls like, but they say do not think you're gonna button mash your way through this. So they already telling you, you better get your beats, your rhythms, and your combos down. It's almost, I ain't gonna say like a fighting game, but you're gonna have to probably take a little bit of a fighting game mentality to it to kind of get
Yeah,
through some things. To like people can block, they got the same weapons as you, and they gonna be stronger than you. So that tells you everything. There's some, I forgot some games like that, but it's kind of like Souls esque, where, oh, I got a shield, you got a shield, what that do? Like, you might can roll, but you can't just roll through me, partner. You know what I'm saying? So you got to
and
get stronger.
I think the last we saw of this game was like last year, right?
It was announced last year, but they've been releasing some video of it. But I think it's getting closer
Okay,
and
I haven't
closer.
seen nothing new of it, so I had to look and see if it looks fresher. Because I remember when I saw it last year, I was interested, but the way it looked, I was like, I don't know if this is finished or not. I don't know how it is,
It's
unless that's
probably gonna be 2025. If I had to guess, I don't think it's gonna come out this year, but I think it's getting close.
like there's a vibe about it that like it. There's a
I like
vibe
the
about it that has a very like Jaguar kind of like Sega CD kind of vibe to it that I dig. Um, this is close to a definite buy for me, but I still
okay.
want to see what it looks like when it's done.
I, I do
Because
think it
last year
looks
I was
more,
like, it still looks a little choppy in some spots.
and I mean, from what I just saw about it from video that was a month ago, it looks a little smoother. But I think it's
Oh,
supposed to.
word! So they got newer footage from like a month ago. Oh, okay, word,
Yeah,
word.
like, or if it was from old footage, but people like, ask the question, hey, what beat 'em ups are coming up? I think more people do submit new video or longer stuff, like just seeing more of the combos. Like it's gonna challenge you. I don't think it's gonna be ever too smooth. I think it's built to be a little 2.5D rough on purpose.
Okay, to
So
kind of
that's
give you that old school like
yeah, because
Atari Jaguar, Sega CD kind of vibe. I
um,
weren't because
so
I like the way like the cutting and the slashing and the like the dashing and stuff. I was like, okay, so this Slave Zero X
I don't know. It
is
also,
close to a buy for me.
let me hate on Jaguar for a minute. I'm gonna
Oh,
just say 3DO because Jaguar failure, but 3DO was a failure too. But it was cooler. But I don't know. But yeah, I know
I
what
mean
you mean.
all those systems, but I mean, you know what I mean. It has
Yeah,
that kind of look where it's
as a
like,
digitized split parallax scrolling.
yeah,
Even though
it's
this is
like we
pixel,
were starting to get kind of dope with our graphics, but we still weren't there yet.
which is funny how
Kind of like just before PlayStation 1 kind of skills.
it was kind of futuristic, but honestly, it's funny how pixelated it looks washed and terrible. But then if you go back and put the styling of it in the style of, but you got to animate the base of it got to be really animated, but you got to have that filter on top of it. I don't know how they do the effect, but it's like instead of looking Mortal Kombat stiff 1 and 2, it's like you moving, but it's like, haha, I got that little realistic in quasi realism to it. Like if I actually was a mech suit, but I'm like it's like an anime that's pixelated digitized, if that makes any sense. So y'all just guys don't look at Slave Zero X, people. I probably ain't describing it right for you, but it's gonna stand out. I'll tell you that. And I think it got a nice synth wave
and I'm hoping
music to it.
Yeah, I'm hoping this gives me my sort of Ninja Gaiden fix. Now, with that said, I know that Ninja Gaiden isn't technically a beat 'em up. It's more of an action platformer. Well, actually, it's specifically an action platformer. But you know what I'm saying? I miss the Ninja Gaiden 1, Ninja Gaiden 2. I never played Ninja Gaiden 3, so I don't know if I would like it or not. But Ninja Gaiden 1 and 2
talking about
for NES, it has a soft spot in my heart. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, they're hack and slashes. I mean, you know, we ain't gonna split hairs with it.
But this looks like it kind of gives me that vibe a little bit, and I miss that. So if that synth wave comes through, and I got my love for my synth wave and my dark synth folks out there, you know what I'm saying? If the music is right, going in, you know what I'm saying? Get me involved, get my heart pumping.
I mean,
get me ready to take out some bad guys.
Oh, this is absolutely a beat 'em up / hack and slash. And the reason why I say that, it's gonna take more than one hit to kill you.
Yeah, because
like you ain't gonna just run through them.
Yeah, because I remember the trailer from it where he was just like, it was like slash dash through him, another slash behind him. I was like, okay, that's why I was like, you know what? This is giving me, pretty much all the Ninja Gaiden I'm gonna get. So this is close to a buy, depending on where the price is.
Say, think of Ninja Gaiden of the 3D ones where you had to fight.
Oh yeah,
it's like you had to. Those games were notoriously hard. So this is kind of like the 2.5 kind of melding of that, but samurai / ninja cyber suit or whatever. So, but yeah, it's gonna be a unique thing. You're gonna see this on independent retro-esque type channels and playthroughs. I promise you. But
word.
I want to drop one for you because you're a PC player.
All right, what's up?
Then you're gonna like this. Acts of Blood. Looking at it,
you know what? That is a possible buy for me. That's an impossible. So you're right up my alley with that one because that's impossible. I've seen it.
The music is tight. Give it up for the music. I like this.
Yeah, because if the music in that trailer is what they're going to be having, then I'm like, word.
From what I saw, and like this is the same video from a month ago. If you watched Chow Yun Fat, or if you watched a lot of the Jet Li type of stuff, the the Hong Kong actioneer films of the late 80s, but came with another wave in the mid 90s, and all those things. It got that vibe of Sleeping Dogs. It got the vibe of Hong Kong actioneer Sifu. It's gonna be right up there. One man with a lot of terror, a lot of painful skills for people. He walk in the room, he gonna clear it out, and it's in 3D. So this is one of the most realistic ones. Yeah. So with that said, interesting. I'm gonna just throw this in there. For me, since I'm not converted to PC yet, this one is gonna be loosely akin to a beat 'em up. The action is beat 'em up, but it's gonna be a lot of fighting. I'm looking forward to in 2025. I never played a Yakuza game. I don't know why, but this Yakuza like a pirate, I am interested in it. The action is beat 'em up. It's kind of like Dynasty Warriors for the action, but you're gonna have a lot going on. True, not a pure beat 'em up, but again, if you play River City Girls, this is gonna be way more leaning into the RPG style of it, but you're gonna have to throw hands. So from what I was told, that the Yakuza main line is like the turn-based one. This ain't turn-based. You're gonna have to clear them ships. You're gonna have to fight. You're gonna have to throw hands. So he's like, yeah, shadow clones for a second. I don't know. It's and it is just gonna be a weirdly intense game. I need to go watch the Yakuza series, even though I think it's been getting bombed from Amazon. But I don't know. Yeah, I think it just came out, but some people are already complaining. I mean, people are always gonna complain, but I don't know what people wanted. I don't know. But there's a lot of Yakuza over the past 20 years. So Yakuza is something that can literally go on forever because mob families, the different generations of
Yeah,
Yakuza can just keep going like the Belmonts in Castlevania, or the Belmont slash Alucards, because
true that.
Dracula just keep coming back. But so I just wanted to throw that in like a pirate. Not quite 100% of beat 'em up, but enough of it is gonna be people getting beat up. Then I want to go to the maybe, sell, and then to the worst category. Maybe
Oh,
sell, maybe and sell. Double Dragon Revive. Yakuza kind of beats it. I am. Yeah, they play the theme song. When I see stuff, it gets my heart pumping. I love the Double Dragon music. Those are legendary. I do not like how the Lee brothers look. I get it. They got to have that shiny look. The models are kind of slidey. There's some obvious glitches in it. The game, I don't hope it's not like a quick cash grab. Arc Systems, they're known for doing good, but they are letting other people do it. And they're gonna. I'm happy they are using the Double Dragon license to make money. They're not doing like WB and just sitting on some stuff like Gauntlet. So they're using their property, but I don't know if I want this until I see some more video. I need to see some more finished, clean product. I want to see some more weight to the characters. It feels PS2-ish, PS3-ish, and I don't know if it's as, say, smooth as some of those top-notch PS3 games.
got you. I got
There,
you.
there's some you can see some hit collision detection that is faulty, where people are clipping through, and it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
I will say I'm still on the fence with this one. There's part of me that's like, it looks cool. Then another part I'm like, no, 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 no. Y'all, I don't know. Y'all missing something. So
Eh,
I'm on the fence with this one.
I almost wish it was just another game, but I know why you got to use these well-known licenses. I'm still the dude that will say go buy Double Dragon Gaiden instead. Support that because I feel like that needed more love. That's like kind of, I know it's a little tongue in cheek, chibi, but it's fun. I think the developer who did Streets of Red. I would like to see him keep being able to make Double Dragon Gaiden stories. I don't know, but I'm not saying no. I'm saying a maybe, but a definitive. Give me a sell. And another one I'm gonna just throw out. Russian Beat is the same way. I think Russian Beat is a little bit slicker, but it's a little also more chaotic. Russian Beat slash the Brawl Brothers, as it was known here, but it's Russian Beat is the series. It's kind of like always was the his smaller younger brother Final Fight and Streets of Rage is the one you didn't buy, you rent it from Blockbuster. So it's coming back. I like the new design of it, but it needs a little more polish. So I don't know yet. Another one that's sliding down the scale as I get kind of close to the end of my list. Karate Kid. I like
Uh-oh.
the pixel work. Like the
You,
pixel
you
work.
don't like Mr. Miyagi?
I like the pixel work.
I
I like the characters. I wish they had some more people to choose to play as. Maybe that's coming. I hear terrible things about the boss hit detection. That they don't have no knockback. They don't have no feed. They just eating punches. It's kind of built to be a little bit of a slog. Say it got some good stuff in it. It is overpriced for those things. I think right away it was like 40 coming out the gate. Which is not bad if you give me a Picasso, but if there's things that people can pull out like that, you need to start about 30, 25. It is going on sale to 29, like, because it kind of got to, but like, it's not bad from what people say, but it ain't, there's some other things. Oh, another one, sorry. They even go back to one that just came out, Vengeance Hunters. That's like, it's not Vengeance Hunters that came out at $20. That was built for the Neo Geo that's on other systems. That got the look of it, but got way better hit detection, combos, other stuff. It don't have any real features, but it's priced right at 20. You know, so and it's an original IP. So it's like, yeah, nostalgia is cool, but if your boss is just walking and then doing a set pattern and not eating, they just eating it, and they supposed to be able to like, you got the look of Shredder's Revenge and all these other things, but then you make them move like an arcade game that just eat your punches and knock you back. Kind of like it's cool. I get it if this was an actual quarter muncher. It's built to be cheap. Child to meta force something. Meta force is something I just bought on Hamster on Switch on Switch. It's an old school, kind of similar to X-Men. Bought it for $4. It's cheap. It's there to eat your quarters. That game would have been hell playing an arcade. Glad I did not ever play it in an arcade. I've been mad. It's okay, but if you can get it for $8, you got $8 below. Go check that out. We ain't gonna have X-Men no time soon. But this is nostalgia. I just want to throw that out.
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen.
Kind of not pleased with what I saw with Karate Kid. It looks okay, but
the game looks cool, but I haven't heard any like rave reviews on it, so which lets me know it's probably not that good.
It's like, and shout out to the Flying Kick. He said, it's cool. Get this on a sale. He's like, do not just buy this day one. It's not day one hype.
It ain't that day one. Ain't that day one heat.
Like it's kind of gonna go into the trash can. I ain't gonna say trash can, but speaking of trash cans,
they're just gonna be uninstalled.
Trash cans. As of now, that is a flat out, unequivalent no. He didn't join us for this podcast. Sometimes, like, I love Mark Wallace. I like to call Mark a sunshine pumper because he looks at the property, he sees G.I. Joe. We speak with nostalgia. He thinks I just be hating folks. I actually try to do a little research and listen.
That G.I. Joe don't look it looks a little bad. I would just say that.
I don't mind if something is undercooked, as far as like it don't have to have the strongest thing. But with that said,
that would have the Cobra look dookie.
It kind of looked like marionette puppets. The way they move, they all got similar moves. It looks so cheesy. It got delayed. It still looked like that, which it could be. I could have dealt with the movement, but it looks very game they would give away free at the back of cereal boxes.
Oh, snap.
like it's not smooth at all. Kind of like the animations, they look like they move like their action figure parts where they articulate, where they instead of them animated and moving and squash and swish, it's kind of like move this arm, move that arm, do this thing.
And they don't really have the like the facial detail and stuff that you would expect.
Well,
I don't know.
They kind of all look like they are based off of the same thing, and they just palette swap and did little details. Not saying that's not something okay if you got to cut some corners. Animation
but
is hard,
this is G.I. Joe, though. You know what I'm saying? This is like one of the things where you should probably try to come through on it.
But this is where we get to about Hasbro and other stuff. So I'm gonna say this. Back to the Flying Kick. The Flying Kick was a person who actually, I don't know if he worked on the game, he helped produce the game, helped fund the game, did some stuff. This man, now I told Mark be like, Mark, don't listen. And yes, I'm calling you out, Mark, because it don't make no damn sense. If somebody worked on the game, who has a gaming channel and spent money on the game, tell you, I am not pleased with this, and they changed some stuff that I did not work on or that I did not know of, they did not finish something got lost in translation. What does that tell you? That tells you it's a do not be like, if you do it, get a deep sale. That ain't nitpicking. This is somebody who had something to do with the production of this game. He said, I'm under MDAs. I cannot say exactly. I am not pleased. That's all he can pretty much express his displeasure. You can find the video. He don't hide it. He just said, I ain't gonna say nothing that will get me sued. But he's like, he reviewed it and he's like, what I saw, he's like, there's stuff that they have absolutely cut out. He said it's not as smooth. The AI for the bosses, they just don't like recognize you. They just do set patterns. It's kind of like stupid per se. Like it's really dumb AI. Um, there's some glitches, which games have glitches, but you already look like that, which you could have got away with if you made a gameplay smooth. We would
Also,
have been
yeah, also if it's not extremely noticeable, you know what I'm
yes.
saying?
But you have these things, and then you have, say, silly AI with the movements, then with other stuff that just ain't smooth. You have failed this city. If this was Arrow,
Yeah.
you have failed this
It
series.
just looks
City.
so stiff in the trailer, man.
They are stiff. That is one of the stiffest looking modern / modern beat 'em ups I ever seen. And the fact of the matter is,
Like Snake Eyes deserves better, man. Come on.
and then the sound effects are just barely above board. They kind of got the like it's kind of almost, it's not quite silly time, but see, whereas Toxic Avenger is purposely doing the silly time whooping noise, but they put thought into it and it sounds good quality. This, it just like sound like they're taking, I don't know, like you're beating up on the couch a little. And I don't know, man. I am so disappointed that the property of that Hasbro, whoever these developers are, I didn't even look it up, but I guess we look it up. I am not gonna buy none of their games. If this is what you do with the G.I. Joe property, y'all wasted the money on the
you had a
animated.
chance.
Like
We
y'all
were
announced
rooting
this,
for you.
Y'all announced this with that when with the animation cartoon, you know, little teaser of just like the introduction scene. Cool, that's great. That's a good intro to have it for nostalgia. But then the game's stiff. Like, bruh, I'd rather have Dragon's Lair type of game with that animation and you just point click. I would have been probably more excited for that than what y'all turned in. Like what G.I. Joe, and I know Mark loved to say, hey, you ain't even played it yet. It's not making me want to buy it, man. It's not making me want to play it. It's
Like
not.
when think about this, when they were deving, and I know people gonna be mad, but I'm gonna just use it again. When they were deving Streets of Rage 4, we got all kinds of videos, documentary stuff behind the scenes. Why you ain't get that on this? This is G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe, I would say it's more recognizable than Streets of Rage. Why we ain't get that those behind the scenes and all this, and we do because they knew it won't good.
Now, Mike, I'm gonna pump your brakes a little bit because that company ain't that company. The two companies are not the same. One like, look, one is known for having a good fighting series. G.I. Joe games have been cursed. Even though it's G.I. Joe, G.I. Joe games ain't been nothing except for like maybe one. And this has been proven. Like they just the arcade game, and that was like a rare kind of hit, which was a super scroller shooter, you know, which I don't know why they didn't just go back to it in the first place or whatever. Power Rangers doing the G.I. Joe shooter game and a beat 'em up in one. You know what I'm saying? They combined both of those things. They can't get the beat 'em up part right for G.I. Joe. And again, it's just Hasbro like, look, you got money? Oh, cool. You got the license. These people put all the money for the license, apparently, or something. And I'm just spitballing to get the license. Hasbro don't care. Hasbro were like, look, we are a nostalgic factory. We gonna pump it out. Cool. We'll sell the license again if somebody want to take this. Also, I think the G.I. Joe, I think his love for people our age, I don't know if G.I. Joe really stands the test of time for the younger generations. You know, pro-war type of stuff going on. Even though it's fantastical, whatever, I don't think people are like, hey, military. Unless it's like you give us another story like with Marvel or something.
Okay.
I don't know what G.I. Joe goes from here, and these people have not helped the brand. I think the toy collecting will always be there while people our age is still alive and into it. I think people always gonna have affinity for the cartoon. And even if they want to do another cartoon, shout out to G.I. Joe.
Maybe it's just hard to do like military propaganda these days or something like that. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Maybe that's the issue. I don't know.
It is. I think it's cursed with that, but also I also believe if this damn game was made right and priced right, and it was made, if it was at least to the level of Karate Kid, which I just now kind of put, I ain't gonna say I gave it a big up. There's a divide between the Karate
Yeah,
Kid
Karate Kid
and
is
G.I.
definitely a
Joe,
cut above GI Joe. Like
bruh.
Karate Kid actually moves like a video game is supposed to.
So if that's what I'm saying, and I'm saying this looks like one of them Kellogg CDs video
Dang.
games where it kind of moves in parts, but then like the character themselves kind of look like what's one of them marionettes on a string and you spin
Oh,
it
the little
around.
puppets or whatever.
Yeah, it kind of looks like that, but trying to be animated, and it's like parts of it animated, but man, that little flip kick that everybody do for some, why does everybody have the same
Ah,
flip kick? Like why people don't have a different, like why is Gung Ho and Scarlet doing the same flip kick and do? And I guess they try to give, put Timber with Snake Eyes. Snake Eyes might have the most animation. Everybody else is just like
they
it's
just like
just
whatever.
so yeah, man. That's my displeasure. Like that's pretty much the end of my list. So, a lot out there in beat 'em up land, but also some disgusting. There's also some other stuff that we talked about from 2 years ago that's also like Toxic Avenger that still haven't been released. Some stuff. So there's gonna be some more stuff that's coming. And
Yeah, there's stuff that's
oh,
been announced and we'll never ever get. Well, I won't say never ever get,
it
but
just
it
takes a
seems like
while.
stuff like Dicey Crime or like Pizza Kid. It seems
They're
like
gonna
this
take a
stuff.
while.
It seems
Yeah.
like this stuff ain't never going to drop.
Like I do think Acts of Blood will drop. It seemed like they care about the Steam population. They just working smoothing out because the game looks built. And I guess I don't know if it's something with hand drawn or pixelated or pixel art that gets in the way that makes it harder these days, or maybe it's a lost skill that it takes extra refinement. I guess when you make models, you have like digital clay that's easier to move with. Maybe if that makes sense. I don't know.
Mhm.
Like maybe or more people are working in Unreal than whatever these other engines are, or something like that. So I don't know. I saw Pizza Kid, whatever. It didn't really Dicey Crime. It didn't really move me. But I do want to give a shout out to another one that's coming. That's always a possibility. The actual Kunio Kun franchise. It's doing the Romance of the Kingdoms right now. They got one called the Three Kingdoms Next. They added more features, different things. So it's like the next sequel to it. I didn't play the first one. It didn't get the best of ratings, but this one I think they're giving it more love. It looks a little interesting. Like you got to command your three different armies or three factions based off of the Chinese saga. So Kunio Kun gets to kind of do everything like Mario in Japan, and it's just becoming more popular. Like he's always around in the West under different names, but he gets to kind of be more of his authentic self. But
Not
this
authentic
is
self though.
yeah, he ain't crashing the boys no more, or whatever the name was, Jimmy and Mike or something. When it was River City, like people be like, "Oh, those names." No, they ain't the names. That's what they did for you people in the West.
Not you people.
Japan. Like, I'll just give them some stupid name that Westerners are like, but we know the truth. But I mean, hey, they did that. They made a dope thing of Renegade by switching the palettes from Schoolboy to base it on the Warriors, and it worked. And I'm up here thinking I'm playing a Warriors-esque game, and it's really a school kid that's helping his friend out instead of beating up whatever. But it worked either which way. But I want to look into that, and one that's oldie but goodie kind of in the Kunio Kun. I want to try River City Mock. I think it's kind of like a battle royale game. You in a room and you just survive. With like you can have teams, so it's actually a cheap way to get into the River City universe. So that's all I got, man. Like I think beat 'em ups are in a good space, man. Like
Yeah, we got a good amount of. And matter of fact, I guess with you saying that, I'll go ahead and throw us in the final thoughts. But yeah, I if you like beat 'em up games, you have enough to choose from right now. Shoot, if you can't find something you don't like now,
Like,
Bruh, I
like,
don't know what you want.
and keep your minds open, folks. Like, beat 'em ups aren't just gonna be just straight Final Fight or old Streets of Rage. You're gonna have some fantasy, some other stuff with it. Hell, you're gonna have a 3D Streets of Rage coming. You're gonna have a 3D Golden Axe coming because the Sega initiative, the newest Sega initiative, they're gonna bring those games back. So you probably will start seeing this some next year or 2026. More like 2026 because everything takes 2 years after it's announced nowadays to even get a whiff of it. Maybe by then,
Yeah.
Toxic Avenger will be out by the time the new Golden Axe come out. Hell, we get the Golden Axe cartoon next year, I think. Or so Sega, again, they may not build all their stuff, but they know how to publish. You know, you got Digital Devolver, they know how to publish. You got all these people who get contacted by these people to publish their stuff that, you know, and whoever the hell got pulled to do. In fact, man, let's do this right now. Hey, while I'm in final thoughts, developer for G.I. Joe. So we know, put them on blast for G.I.
Like they,
Joe.
I just feel like even though I'm not a huge GI Joe fan, I think that if you're gonna make a GI Joe game, you really gotta come with it. I mean, because it's just so well known, you can't, you just can't scrimp on that.
It
That
is
you gotta come through.
Maple Powered Games is the developer
Mm.
of G.I. Joe, and I don't think they got no
Game on
fact.
Maple.
Let me take Maple Power Games because y'all must have ran out of maple juice. Y'all was making this,
Mm.
and let's look at if they got a. I think their reputation ain't so hot. Just news. It's pulling up Maple Leaves. Can't even find no no news on you. Maple Powered Games, 7 matches, blah blah blah. I don't know. The list of games. In fact, I'm gonna just look at the list of games developed by them. Rafa Cobra's number one. That thing, bro. Rafa Cobra's already dropped to $13.70. It's a 40% drop since September. That ain't good. That tells you it made something called Monster Harvest that looks like shovelware from 2021. Some collection, whatever Monster Harvest is. I think they did Alex the Kid, which nobody cared about per se, even though it's an old Sega game, but it's one of the oldest of Sega games. Morbid, yeah, Hasbro. I don't know what y'all thinking. Hasbro. Every check ain't every money, every bit of money ain't good money. Like y'all gotta take care of y'all property, bro. For real. Like I ain't even, you know what? I'm not even mad at Maple Power Games because what was they supposed to do? Clearly they out here scamming. Clearly they know they couldn't make no game.
You know what? I think I'm gonna agree with you.
Hasbro, have some quality control.
It's Hasbro's fault. Hasbro, when someone say, "Yo, man, I wanna buy a license. Because I wanna make a Ninja Gaiden game," they should have been like, "Ho ho." I mean, not GI Joe game. They should have been like, "Ho ho ho ho." Let me see that. Let me see what you got. They'd be like, "This is tentative." What's your plan? They would be like, "Nope, I don't want that stiff wax stuff. Get out of here."
Like the developers for Streets of Rage, .emu, Lizard Cube, Guard Crush, all got good reviews. Even if they made something crazy, people talked about how they engine worked for their previous games. Way Forward always got a good reputation. I think they're the company that helped make Turtles. .emu also, I think, was a part of Ninja Turtles. So, people are trying to emulate the look of .emu. We looking at you, Karate Kid, but they can't quite get it.
Yeah, see, .emu know what they're doing,
and they know how hit detection work. So I'm just saying, y'all, I'm not trying to be negative. Shout out to my homie Mark. Love Mark. Mark be thinking I be hard. I'm generally nicer than NERDSoul. I think I am, and that's okay. Cause Mike say he don't like something. He don't like something. I be trying sometimes. I be trying.
But
this ish from G.I. Joe. I'm usually never the person that be like, oh, they took my childhood and destroyed it. But y'all, it looks like the little paper puppet when you spin it. And if y'all remember in the 80s, them type of things that they taught you with or the paper puppets. And it's like the little holes. You see them little pipe cleaner puppets and you just spin them or something. I don't know the exact name of it, but you know what I'm talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where each little limb moves and you like, you move it with a stick. That's what they look like. And I could have if you would have smoothed the gameplay out, I can get over some of that. It'd be like, all right, I got the sound, I got the feel. Hey, bring me back to the cartoon. But then y'all got busted AI for the game to not even make it that smooth. Then you got a man who helped work on the game, who loved beat 'em ups, telling you, I can't recommend this game that I helped produce. What does that tell you? I'm telling you, take his word for it. This man loved the flying kick, loved beat 'em ups, and he was disgusted. And this man was answering questions as you put him in there, and it wasn't even a live video. You know what I'm saying? You put it in there. He's like, hey, yeah, blah blah blah. So y'all, there is a, shout out to Streets of Rage 4. I know we keep bringing them up. Shout out to Turtles. I believe that Power Rangers from digital clips will join the hallowed grounds of Dadimu and Way Forward, and will bring another property to glory that will last for a couple of years, whereas G.I. Joe is already half off, bro. It's already half off. It came out September. They ain't gonna spend no more money on this game. Watch. They ain't about to patch. That bug gonna be a little patchy, maybe patched up to just for quality of life or something, and they gonna throw that in the toilet. But Mark, if you listen, I implore you, go get the damn game. You play it. I'll play it with you. I ain't spending my money on it.
I ain't playing that trash.
I'll play it.
I ain't gonna play that unmitigated assault on all that is G.I. Joe.
Like we just gave way too many options.
They out here hurting Hasbro's feelings like that. They ain't right.
Bruh, Hasbro, I don't know what y'all want. If anything, go get the rights from Konami and go bring back the 1993 Super Scalar Shooter game, and we'll be fine. I'll buy that, and I'll be fine. I'm like, there you go. That's G.I. Joe game. Hey, retro game, folks. Yeah, hand claps.
Oh boy.
We and Mark played the Punisher. Fact, shout out to Capcom. That was their actual first Marvel game, and it's in the package. Because they have the license, so that's why you may not see some other things like Alien vs. Predator. That's a hard license to sort out. Even with Disney owning it, they don't own all the rights to it, like video and other media rights. So you may never see that in a collection. But Punisher, to this day, feels just as good as what Streets of Rage 4 almost for game 20 years ago. Maybe like it's almost as good.
It's because it was made correctly.
And like you can got all the jumps, the things, you got combos, you got the gunplay, it's responsive. And this game was made in 1993. Now, yes, it was Capcom putting AAA money and technology into a beat 'em up because they're like, look, we got the license. That's how you treat a license.
Thank you. They got the license. It was like, we're gonna do this right.
And that license led them into having the wherewithal. In fact, I don't know if it was Maximilian or somebody, but they talked about the history of that. Several people talked about it when the MVC collection came out. There was like when Capcom got the ability to show what they can do with a Marvel license, they're like, all right, we're gonna make this, and then they kept business negotiations up so they can keep coming back because Marvel, like, yeah, you just gotta change this. Some things like it's a little violent, but it's but they're like, hey, it's well made, and it still was a hit in arcade. So, developers, Y'all get the license. Do
Yeah, like
do it right, bruh.
stop trying to do cash grabs. Cash grabs don't work no more.
Cash grabs for properties that people love. Like even um um what's it called? Metal Slug was kind of getting a little cash grabby, and they done rolled that back. Shout out to Metal Slug Tactics finally coming out eventually, supposedly this year, and that's gonna be a big one. And SNK is like, thank you for. I don't know if y'all do any quality control, but thank y'all for finding somebody who wants to do, Metal Slug right. Even if it's a different style of game, it needs to be done to a good quality for people to try something different with the license. So I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry to go on a rant on G.I. Joe.
All good. Just tell them where they can find you. We're going to leave G.I. Joe alone.
We're gonna leave G.I. Joe alone. It's dead. I don't know what y'all gonna do with this, but Power Rangers, December 10th. Watch that away. You touch that G.I. Joe who?
Yep.
5E Keith Cooper on Blurred.ISH on IG. I'm Keith Cooper on Facebook. I am also Blurdish. Go to the Blurdish Facebook page. Check me out on Twitch. You can go blurred_ISH on Twitch. You'll see me playing some of these games. You'll see me getting beat up in that weird metaphoric whatever game I just played recently. I beat 'em up. I won, but it looks crazy. It's some weird imagery I ain't gonna get into, but still, you can enjoy it. So you can find me at these places, and you would definitely, hopefully, it's crossplay. If it's crossplay, you'll see me playing Power Rangers with Mike. I don't know what system he getting on, but I'm sure you about to tell me, and maybe we might play it.
Yeah, because I'm gonna definitely have the PC version. Hopefully, there'll be some crossplay there. I know. Did Turtles have crossplay? Was it Turtles that had crossplay? I'm trying to remember.
Turtles did have crossplay, I think.
So it might be a possibility.
Oh, wait a minute. Or no, I thought they did. I don't think Turtles had true crossplay, or I don't know. I'll have to look it up. I know that Streets of Rage did. Like whatever your platform. No, Turtles might have had true crossplay.
It was either Turtles or Streets of Rage that had crossplay. One of them did.
Only one of them had it, but one of them also. But they both had online play to the fullest. Turtles online play is crazy because it's just too much, but it works. It works great.
Yeah, it, like you just be playing and somebody just dropping on your game. You be like, oh, all right, let's roll.
Again, Dottie move indie, but they they building Rivians out here, trucks instead of Teslas. I know people like Tesla, and Tesla be blowing up lately, but I'm just saying, you ain't gonna see too many people with a Rivian, but when you do, you be like, oh, that thing is pretty. That is a pretty truck.
Yep.
It don't look like cyber dog water. You know what I'm saying?
Oh boy.
So there's a difference. There's a difference.
And the difference is clear. but anyway, go ahead and do your thing.
But yeah, that's where y'all can find me, folks. And again, I'm getting that Power Rangers.
Yeah. Gotta get that Power Rangers for real. It's just straight hotness. But anyway, on my side, final thoughts is get Power Rangers. Go in and get that new update, that new DLC for the Turtles Shredder's Revenge.
Yep, keep it going.
And Slave Zero X and Axe of Blood, they're close to a definite buy for me. They're close.
If I was a PC player, Axe of Blood would be a yes.
Like they close. We gonna see, but they close. Like they real close. But with that said, NERDSoul, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, podcast, all that jazz. And until the next time that you have to clean up the streets of your favorite city, we're just saying, peace.
And be fluid. Can't be looking like no marionette puppet to clean up the streets.